What if I told you that there was a way to completely eliminate fear, emotions, and cognitive biases from your trading, to overcome that which previously seemed impossible? You might say, "You must be lying," and I would say, yes, I'm lying. But there are ways that we can change our perception of trading, and what is life if not a perception of that which we see and believe to be, while repulsing and absorbing that which may or may not be. You know what I mean? Perception is literally everything. Two people can survive a car crash. One of them will walk away laughing and thinking it was crazy, and the other one could develop post-traumatic stress disorder and never be able to set foot in a vehicle again. We perceive price action as a threat. People less and more qualified than me have said that too. Things like cortisol and adrenaline go up in our bodies as a response. We start shaking, our body goes into high alert mode, and then our judgment is clouded. Cavemen needed this when they were cornered by one of these guys, but we don't need to be prepared to do a full sprint or to punch a saber-toothed tiger in the face when we are sitting at our computer. So, if we change our perceptions of trading, we can begin to eliminate many of these pesky emotions and hormones. Now, I'm not saying that we have to be like this guy with a controller hooked up doing buy and sell orders, but there are many easy and helpful ways to change our thinking. Step 1. Rethinking money. Why is it so easy to paper trade and so difficult to do real trading? Yeah, you know why. Because the money isn't real. Why are there no emotions involved in paper trading? Because that money has no emotional value. I suffered for the money that I have. At one point in my life, I was a couple pounds away from a BMI that qualified as malnourished, because I didn't want to spend money to buy food. I suffered for that money, and every purchase I made was with the thought of how much I would have to work just to earn it back. I'm better now, but that doesn't mean I want to lose any of my money. So, let's try to rewire our brain into thinking about this money differently. You already know that you shouldn't trade your P&L, but what does that actually mean? You shouldn't have the cash balance of the unrealized gains or losses visible to you during the trade, because money makes us act irrationally. So, let's completely change the idea of what it is that we are actually trading for. By doing this, we can try to trick our brain. Mine's an idiot, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Seriously, sometimes when I'm standing next to a light switch and I'm watching a YouTube video, instead of turning off the light, I'll turn down the video. Or, in my dorm, there were two lights next to each other. Multiple times before bed, when I would go to turn off the one that was on, I would end up turning on the one that was off. Anyways, pick your favorite video game. Chances are that you had a character or something that leveled up. Now, for whatever currency you use, stop thinking of it as $1, euro, pickle, whatever. Money is now experience points, or XP. You didn't make $50 on the trade, you made 50 XP. Each increment of $1,000 is now a level. My account with NinjaTrader is just below level 2, because I have a little less than $2,000, or should I say 2,000 XP in it. Obviously, this is part of how we can move away from the intense focus on money. This is the same concept as thinking about earning a certain amount of points per day. You hear traders say this all the time. They'll say, "My goal is to make 10 points per day," or in forex, they'll say pips. Sure, part of the reason is because that's what's important, rather than an amount of money per day, because positions can always be scaled up. But part of it is because the focus shouldn't be around money. Money makes us do irrational things, like eat a worm for $10, or never mind. So change the currency to XP and set whatever increment of money you want to a level. I chose $1,000 increments as going up a level, but you could do smaller or bigger than that. Next, video game characters. Trading is hard. It takes a lot of learning to become consistent, so think of yourself as a character. Each day, you gain experience and are leveling up certain skills. You might not be able to quantify the exact changes in your perceptions and comprehension of trading, and I know that can feel frustrating. It's tough to put so much time and effort into something without really seeing any results. A lot of this has to do with instant versus delayed gratification, but that's a topic for a different video, so I can really milk out every psychology concept. Anyways, even though we know that this takes a long time, that doesn't mean it isn't discouraging at times. Each day we are slowly upgrading and building a stronger and stronger character, and we know that through our efforts and time, this character will eventually become strong enough to be successful. I was the highest rated Rocket League player in Maine for a while, but that was after 4 years of playing. If the goal was to become that good from the start, then 4 years would have been a very long time, and I probably would have become very discouraged. We have to appreciate the process of the journey without just focusing on the end goal of consistent profitability or of being highly ranked. We have to be like video game characters on a long quest to profitability. Self-serving bias, where we attribute our successes to ourselves but our failures to outside forces like the market. Think of this and other challenges as bosses that we have to defeat to continue. Next, we get to video game specific mindsets. I don't know about you, but when my buddy and I are playing in a 2v2 tournament on Rocket League and it's getting intense, there are a lot of moments where our emotions get the better of us and we have to calm down.
50. Fake. Up.
Come on! We will say things like, reset, because we have to force ourselves to calm down again and to focus. This is very important, because if we are getting hyped about a goal in the grand finals, then we need to calm down before the game resumes so that we can continue playing well. This is no different than needing to reset after a trade. We can't take the emotions of a trade into the next one. If we won XP and are getting close to leveling up, that's right, no more money talk, we're here to get XP and to level up our character. If we won, then that excitement and that happiness will negatively affect our judgment. If we lost on the trade, then that feeling of revenge and wanting to size up will start to creep in. You and I know that we have to defeat that in order to be consistently profitable. So, it's important to reset after every trade. Luckily, this isn't Rocket League where the kickoff starts about 10 seconds after a goal. In trading, we can take as much time as we need to do this. For the same reason we look at points or pips instead of P&L on the chart, let's rewire our brain to think of trading as gaining XP to get to the next level. As we do this, we are upgrading our own personal video game character as we gain skills. We are traveling through this trading journey while we defeat major bosses like cognitive biases, FOMO, fear, and other difficult challenges. The more bosses and side quests that we beat, the stronger we get. And we are traveling on this journey to reach the final goal of consistent profitability. But we can't get there until we have gained the necessary experience and have defeated all of the challenges. For some, it may take a year, and for some, it may take 5 years. All that I know is that everyone is capable of doing it. For myself, failure is not something I even consider when I do something that I believe in. I will do this until I have defeated every challenge. We will meet new challenges throughout this game, but our character can become strong enough to defeat anything. We can change the way we perceive reality, which changes the way we feel, think, and behave. And if we can do that, we can do anything. Remember, the whole reason for doing this is to reduce our emotional attachment to our trades. Doing this will leave more room for the rational part of our brain to be the one responsible for our decisions. Through time, systematic desensitization and exposure to that which causes emotional responses will allow us to stay calmer and to behave in more rational ways. Turning this into a video game also has the benefit of adding more fun to it. It gives us little goals to shoot for. Even if we aren't consistently making the right calls and decisions, we are still improving in ways that might not seem measurable or quantifiable. One interpretation you could have of trading is that you are entering a battle. In one corner, there's you. In the other corner, there is someone on the other side of the transaction. One of you is going to be right. It's either going up or down. This is a 1v1, so you don't have teammates to back you up. There's nobody to blame, and there's nobody with which to share the credit for a win. It's just you against someone else. If you're feeling rusty or need more practice, you can use a simulation account. Or you can practice battling by using historical data to simulate days in the market from the past. There are tons of ways to gamify trading. Just don't get a temporary ban for breaking the PDT rules, and don't blow up your account or you'll lose all of your levels. Good game.